This morning we're on our way to the Zambezi National Park, which is upstream of the falls on the Zambezi River. So we're going to team up with John Laing from GAP, and he's brought out a couple of his students or learner guides, and we're hoping that we're going to sweep and find a few snares and pick up snares. At the same time, he's going to be giving them a bit of field training whilst he's in the field. So let's hope that we can at least make some difference there today. There's a lot of poaching. Apparently it's coming across from the Zambian side, so we'll see how we go.
You know, we could get a stick and wedge it over.
I don't think you'll get it through.
Guys, what we'll do for this particular exercise, we're going to come down this little ridge. We're going to get down on the water line. What I really want us to do and concentrate on is keeping in a line. It's going to be difficult to do that. But what we do is, if we move up together, then we've got less chance of missing any snares that might be set on there. Understand it is difficult because one person might have to go around a tree, or you find something and then you're going to hang back whilst others go forward. So keep everyone informed. Also, please be very, very careful. The danger factor down here is real. If you've got snares, it means that you do have all opportunity of those snares being full with something. Could be a lion, could be a leopard, could be an elephant. We want to listen out for whatever we want to see, smell. There might be a dead something there. So let's keep all your senses alive and make sure we keep each other safe. As you know, I'm carrying a weapon. Don't go there and try and be the hero. If there's an animal there, let's stand back, and we'll have to call in one of our support unit to come and dart that animal and then try and remove that snare. So let's hope you don't encounter that, but it is something that we can encounter. Good, let's go and do it.
Yeah, there was another. Probably a few more in this little patch. It's a perfect spot. So you've got a rocky ridge here, so the animals will tend to follow the easiest path. So this being this, there's the river on one side, the rocky ridge. They're pretty much forced into this. So this is actually an ideal spot for a poacher to put his snares, because he's guaranteed to get passing business here.
You see here, this is what they've done. They've put another branches here so that the animal looks here, it can't go through, so it goes to another spot. So it's always good to break these things down. So look at the branches, so you've got to stick there, meaning the animal's going to be forced into this channel. It's a bit of a blockade. Here you've got an older leaf on there, but here you've got very, very new leaves that have been twined around there or twirled around there, so to hold this thing open. And over here also, all fresh. So I would say that this has been done in the last couple of days. Okay, obviously they haven't broken the branch, so that's not going to die, but I think that's very, very fresh. And bear in mind that we were only here about 2 weeks ago. So these guys are back in action over the full moon. So let's take this one off and down, and then we've got another one over to our right. Okay, always try and figure out how the Zambians have made it. And then once you figure that out, it'll be easy for you to take it down. Okay. And then when we've got the snares, make them kind of that size. Okay, and then we'll roll it. Alright, and then just wind that wire back around there, like that. So that makes carrying it easier. Now you can carry that over your shoulder. Good.
Okay, you have got an old scar on the tree here as well. You see that old scar? Yes. That shows that there was probably a snare here some time ago, and that has caught a buffalo or something, and that pulled the tree like it. So he's moved the position. It's on another branch now. This is a big snare, and you can see it's like 6 strands of wire together. Yes. And it's steel wire, so it's really strong. That you'll tow a motor car with that.
And there's another one.
And there's a secondary snare. Obviously, in case he puts his head to the side, you see there's a secondary one tied up as well. So if he pushes to the side, he's going to get hooked up on this one. Maybe let's remove those, and here it sounds like they're picking up a few more on the other side there.
I just want to point out this wire on the tree. This was a snare at some stage, and that snare is now gone, but you see the evidence wrapped around the trunk. So I'm going to hazard a guess that there was a buffalo that came through here and has caught that snare either on its foot or on its neck, and it's broken free and it's gone. So now, as a professional walking through the bush, and bear in mind in Zimbabwe you have to hold a professional license to go and walk, now you understand the dangers. If there's a buffalo moving around with a snare on it, that is when it's at its most dangerous. And it could just be lurking in the bushes beyond where you are walking to. That can be very dangerous, and that can be life and death. Our senses always have to be alive, and we're going to make sure that we are always keeping our guests safe. And when you see this, this is a guide's worst nightmare. We don't want to be seeing stuff like this.
You see how this tree has been scarred very badly from the past. So it looks like this is a habitual area for a poacher's snare, and they keep putting snares. It's obviously a very successful place, and that's why they keep putting their snares back on these same tracks. Very obvious. We've got a lot of old bones lying here from a few years ago, so there's definitely buffalo looking at the size of that vertebrae bone. There's a whole lot more lying over here, and I would say it was probably, the snare would have been on probably that tree there. There might even be a scar, but the snare would have probably been around this tree. You see the bones are right here. So this animal wasn't actually picked up, or it was left to rot. So this is another thing that does happen when these guys are under pressure. They do tend to back out of the area and leave it, and these animals are left to rot.